Hey guys, I'm Saivo and today we're going to talk about the upcoming patch 5.5 and 5.6. I'm going to use the same video to talk about both because they're going to come at the same time actually. In Europe, the release date for these two patches is 9th of August, and in North America it was actually released yesterday. I got the chance also to play a little bit on the North American client. I did some 96 versus 96 battlefield. It was crazy. I'm going to talk about that when we get to that part in the patch notes. So this is going to be my patch analysis / review. It's a huge patch, not because itself is huge, but because it's going to change the game. So let's get going. An unofficial way, but a very reliable way to see patch notes before they become available, by Gameforge and NC West. We all know they're lazy with patch notes. That's not a good thing, but whatever. So a good way to get patch notes is from this website, AION PowerBook. And not only patch notes, you can get actually everything from this website. So I definitely suggest you guys visit this website and bookmark it if you're an AION player, because it is really, really useful. So you're gonna go to home, and then you have here in update history, you're gonna have all the patches. Yeah, so we're gonna control click 5.5 and 5.6. First 5.5, yeah. Now we're gonna skip through the bullshit. We're gonna start with the first category, instance dungeons, and this brings us right into the heat of battle. Now I told you that I think 5.5 is gonna change the game. It's because of this. Now Nara Kali is actually the first dungeon in AION's history which actually gives you PvE gear with PvE attack as a stat. So same as you have PvP gear with PvP attack and defense, the same way you're gonna have PvE gear with PvE attack and defense. Now this is gonna change the game because from now on, not exactly from the moment the patch hits, right? Because it's too soon for people to understand. Usually people in AION, they kind of take a couple of months before they really get it in their heads what's going on. That's how it always has been. So PvE attack is obviously gonna speed up everything that you do, and whether you're PvEing or you're PvPing all day, it doesn't really fucking matter, because at one point or another, even if you only want to do PvP, you're still gonna be forced to do PvE, because PvE gets you level, and leveling in AION is one of the most important things after patch 5.0. So you want to level, you're gonna do PvE, why not do it 20% faster with Nara Kali gear, yeah? On top of that, PvE obviously brings you Kina. Now, in PvP these days, after 5.0, you can also earn nice Kina through PvP, so that's really a viable way. For the third reason is that why not be better, right? Why not do a lot more damage than you usually do? 15-20% more damage, why not, right? You kill mobs, you do 20% more damage, 20% faster. You do your daily whatever you do, Adma, Elemental Lord's Lab or Arkal, you do it 20% faster. So this is a huge change in AION's history. PvE gear with PvE stats. We had PvE gear before. My point is the PvE attack and defense as a stat. This is new to patch 5.5 and to AION's history, and it's gonna make a huge difference in the time you spend in PvE. You can spend 20% less time doing PvE and more time doing PvP or whatever else you like, right? If you like PvE, then this is even better, because obviously every person that's really much into PvE is gonna want this gear because it's just fantastic, right? On top of the fact that it has PvE stats, it also looks like those Paytan weapons, with the fancy frame, all shiny and cool, even the accessories and the weapons. So obviously it even looks cool on top of the fact that it is actually really good gear. This is the first of many sets in AION that's gonna have PvE stats, right? But it's just the first, and it's really awesome. So Nara Kali is a 12-man dungeon. I'm not gonna get into all the content and explain to you and give you tactics for Nara Kali, but it is a 12-man dungeon, supposedly pretty hard in terms of how AION rates difficulty of the dungeon. It should be like 16 stars, which is I think 2 stars more than Makarna, just for you to get an idea, 1 star more than Garden or something like that. So supposedly the hardest dungeon in AION at the time of its release. So that's pretty cool, pretty normal. You would expect that from a new patch, so all good and dandy. 4 entries a week, and it resets on Wednesday. You can probably buy scrolls if you want it later on from the cash shop. I'm not sure that Gameforge is going to offer titles for the people that finish Nara Kali, because Nara Kali is a bit of a different instance. It's not really like, hey, who finishes it first. It's more like who finishes it on a constant level, who finishes it constantly. Those are the people, because very many groups are gonna be able to finish Nara Kali, unlike some other content, some other patches, some other dungeons, which there were actually few groups who indeed finished the dungeon. Like the first example that comes into my mind is Tiamat's hideout, not the hidden space, the hideout back in the days. There was like what, one group per faction who actually finished constantly the dungeon and finished it in general. So Nara Kali is not going to be one of those dungeons, right? So yeah, I'm just saying. Essence of Knowledge is another dungeon. It's a whatever dungeon, you can just go ahead and do it. 6-man dungeon, it's going to be something in the lines of an Arkal when library was the thing, something in the lines of a Kroban when garden was the thing. So something like that, a second tier end game dungeon, let's say. Yeah, Wyndi Gorge. Now this is the battlefield that I was talking to you about. 24-man minimum, so it can start 24 on each faction, 96 on each faction maximum. I've done this on my North American characters. It was really fun, and to talk a little bit more about it, it's kind of a battlefield. The map reminds me a little bit of Acheron, right? What a random map. And it's like a battlefield. You just do, Zergy PvP. You can apply some tactics. You can kill some, bosses in there and get some points. It lasts kind of long. It is really fun. I'm gonna tell you this. It is really fun, but it is very unrewarding for the time that you spend in it. Of course, if you just wanna, let's say, waste some time in AION, like completely waste it, then sure, go ahead and do the battlefield. It's really much fun. However, if you have something else to do, maybe you're 74, want to get to 75, or maybe you're 75, you want to fill your creation points, or maybe you just want to, grind for your PvP gear. There's a million things to be busy with in AION, right? So doing this is not gonna be a thing that's gonna be efficient. It's just fun, it's new, and that's about it. Rewards are crap. For the time it consumes, and also if you lose, it's really bad. In terms of Abyss points, really bad even if you win. So I'm just saying. Let's see, what else are we gonna have? The difficulty of 6 High Deva instances have been decreased. This is really nice. Add my elemental Arkal Kroban base. Who cares? Nobody gives a fuck. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And the XP has been increased that you can obtain in there. So I guess for a Spirit Master or whatever, a Cleric or a Ranger to solo the mobs in library, that's I guess a thing now. I'm not quite sure by how much the XP has been increased, because when AION says the XP has been increased, that means it has been increased about this much. So not really viable, right? The number of entries per week of the Gold Arena has been changed from 2 to 4. This is really good for the people that actually like the Gold Arena. The number of points needed to acquire seasonal rewards has been changed. This is pretty nice. At the same time, seasonal rewards have been increased. Pretty nice as well. If the opposing, this is really good change. If the opposing team leaves Runatorium Ruined, the instance will no longer immediately end. Instead, you will have 10 minutes to finish the instance. Okay, that's pretty sweet. And that's about it for dungeons. Let's move onwards to minions. Minions is a new addition. This comes with 5.5. Again, same as the PvE stats on gear. This is brand new to the game. Another reason why I think the patch is huge and it's gonna actually change the game. Now, minions, you acquire them by getting contracts. I'm not gonna get into the whole explaining to you what minions are, how they work, what does skill 1 do, what does skill 2 do. This heals you, the other one dispels you, whatever. You need to put, I can tell you, you need to put these skills in your bar. So having minions, for example, some classes so far before 5.4, had their bars completely full, right? So it was pretty complicated for some classes, some people that really wanted to use each skill individually somehow by clicking it, because obviously you can never assign so many macros for 32 skills on your keyboard in AION. But now you will have even more skills to add on your bar, because these are not being used automatically by the pet, they are actually active skills. Not all, but most. So depending on the pet. So you need even more space on your user interface, on your bar, so you can place those skills there. This goes very well hand in hand with my previous video, in which I showed you some really awesome and very efficient and smartly made skill chains, customized skill chain for Templars. So you free up some spots like that, and you can have more spots for these kinds of skills if you're in the situation that all of your bar is full somehow. Cool, you have all the details about the minions here. I'm gonna actually link 5.5 and 5.6 directly in the description of this video, so you can check them here. The minions can be evolved, obviously they have levels, it's another grind, they're gonna be in the cash shop, another pay to win shit. They are not overpowered at this stage of the game. However, I am expecting in 2-3 patches that minions would actually be a little bit overpowered, because you know, we know AION, it's not fair, PvP or whatever, so you're right. Cool. They give different things, as you can see here, whatever, minions. Also minions have extra functions, as you can see here, automatic looting, automatic buffing up until 4. In Europe you can buy a pet from the cash shop, the mini Satan. Why the fuck would you call a pet mini Satan? I mean, you know, Satan and Jesus are not things that you should name things inside an MMORPG, because maybe I'm an atheist. Why would you make me feel uncomfortable having Jesus always behind me? Or maybe I'm a really big Christian. Why would you feel me uncomfortable always being followed by baby Satan? This is so dumb. Just like the shark said. Anyway, so we have mini Satan, which can buff you 5 scrolls, a food and a pot. So having a minion that would buff you food and magical items up to 4 is 1 less than the Satan. So you have to think, is it worth it or is it not? For you, it depends. And they also alert you, same as every other thing. You can get pet contracts from the 96 versus 96 battlefield, for example. Yeah. Cool. And there are also some quests that you can get them from. The contracts, I mean. Next one, items. Let's go to items. New Devas will obtain now this, a box of items, yeah? And this while playing the game. They contain armor pieces and weapons to help the players grow. So if you're a new player, this patch is good for you. Returning players will receive this item and can be exchanged for various goods in NPCs in Nostra or wherever. Updated content. These kinds of currencies have been added in the game. Winning, losing in Wyndi Gorge gives you this kind of currency. It can be used to purchase items from Battleground, Mark NPC, in Estera and Nostra. Nothing game breaking, nothing spectacular, nothing worth talking about. The appearance of items that a new character gets by default has been changed, whatever. These medals, I want to talk a little bit about them, have been added to the game. So basically you get these medals now instead of gold, silver, platinum, mithril medals. You get these. If you already have gold, silver, platinum, mithril, then they get exchanged automatically when the patch applies to these kinds of medals. Now these kinds of medals are a little bit shitty, because obviously you can think now, oh, I'm gonna rush to the broker and I'm gonna buy all the gold medals and silver medals there because they're gonna be exchanged with this medal, and this medal is really cool because you can exchange this medal for the new medal, right? The one that you get 75 Abyss points with. It escapes my brain right now how it's called, but anyway, so you can exchange these for the new medal, and you need thousands of these, right? So for 1,000 of these medals you can get 175 Abyss medal, right? Now I'm trying to think about how the fuck is that 75 medal called, because I'm really having an OCD now. Spinel medal, right, there we go. Anyway, you might think, let me go and buy silvers and golds, right? Because they're tradable. It's not worth it. If that would have been something, I would have already known about it and done it, or I would have told you also. But it's not a thing, because one silver medal gives you one of these medals, these new medals, after the patch hits. So it's not really worth it to pay 150k or 200k kina for one of these medals when you need 1,000 to exchange for a guarantee one spinel medal box, right? Obviously you can throw these medals in the fountains in Nostra and Estera and you have a chance to get spinel fragments. You can throw 100 of these and get 80 to 100 to 200 spinel fragments, but that's still not worth it. So it's not gonna be something that you can take advantage of, like for example ancient coins and fluxes were before 5.0. So nothing special. You can buy spinel medals for these, and yeah, I'm not sure whatever else you can buy, because I didn't see any other NPCs that you can use to buy stuff from these medals, stuff that actually matters, right? Not crappy whatever stuff. Shields from the high defense squad. Praetor says now give more block and physical defense, whatever. How much block do they give, how much physical defense? It doesn't say. It's probably not gonna say in NC West patch notes nor Gameforge patch notes, so because yeah, that's how it is. Why say when you cannot say? Existing Edian items can no longer be required. Instead, you will now find new Edians that give fixed bonuses. There's also very nice new Edians that give, for example, 1.8% PvP attack as a fixed bonus. So that's really sweet. That's really sweet. Purple Edian, mythical. Whatever, Edian. Lots of Edian things. You can read the rest. The grade drop craft of Godstones items have been changed. Okay, so illusion Godstones are now eternal instead of fabled. Some bundles the monster will now give illusion Godstones instead of normal Godstones. Okay, pretty cool. Boring. New Abyss consumables will now have a different price. You can check them right here. These wings, these are the nice 70 PvP wings. So instead of 1.8 PvP attack, you can upgrade them now for 2.3 PvP attack and a little bit better stats. Strike resist, strike fortitude, 1924 and 2024. Very few stat increase, but a very nice 0.5% PvP increase. So that's really nice that you can do that. Greater supplements mythical price has been increased. Nobody really cares. New wings and mouth can be crafted through magical crafting. Omega enchantment stones can now be obtained. These are all powerful, yeah. Can be obtained from the invasion of the ancient machines in Nostra Estera. Okay, that's cool. Breakthrough enchantment cost, bandstone removal cost, enchantment stone extraction cost has been lowered. This is really nice that breakthrough enchantment cost has been lowered. This is big. Rest, we don't really care. It was dirt cheap even before. Rewards for the Sky Island invasion content have been changed. Nobody really cares how they have been changed or why. Nobody really does that. There's better PvP gear. Nobody really cares about that gear. Too many new sets of gear too fast. Nobody gives a fuck about Sky Islands. Monsters in Estera Nostra will now drop different items. This is so vague. This is so vague. I wanna kill myself. Items for some high Deva instances have been changed. Library of Knowledge have been changed. Hidden Space have been changed. Have been changed to what? How? Where? When? Why? It's not gonna be even in the official patch notes. I understand this is a fan website or whatever, but this is gonna be exactly the same in the official patch notes. This is what bothers me the most. Not because these nice people from AION Powerbook did this. They just translated basically from Korea. The selling price high Deva equipments have been significantly increased. Cannot wait for that. I have lots of purples from Arkal. No, not from Arkal, from Elemental Lord. The name of Quickfill... An issue with the plus 20 effect not appearing for some weapons has been fixed. Whatever. Abilities of some existing equipment items have been changed. I cannot wait to see how, which items, why, and by how much. rank restrictions on level 65 Abyss items have been removed. Basically, this is the like 1-star or 2-star officer gear, the eternal one. Now it's like you don't need any rank because it's actually shit. So yeah. Enchanting systems. This is also a big thing. Now the enchanting probability with enchantment stone and all powerful has been changed, in that sense improved. If you try to enchant an item with supplements, the probability of successfully straightening will be higher than ever before. So basically all powerful stones and mighty supplements equals 100% success rate. However, the chance of all powerful critting has been reduced. Yeah, everything else doesn't matter, and you can read them. You can read them here. There is also another new mana stone introduced. It is somewhere in between a regular stone that we have now and an all powerful. That's just how it is. And that's about it. You can also see that this is again very big. PvE physical and magical attack has been added for high Deva equipment after breakthrough. Yeah, so 1620 it gives you PvE attack and PvE defense. 21 plus it gives you more PvE attack and PvE defense. This is again very big, which goes hand in hand to what I told you, that these PvE attack and defense stats are new and they're gonna be fantastic in about 5 months from now, tops. In Europe people are lazy, they don't really think. Cool, whatever, these you can read yourself. Character changes, so you can have just some quality of life changes, nothing really important. The number of Estima slots has been changed from 3 to 6. People don't really even have 3 yet enchanted fully, so too many new things coming too soon, way too soon. It just feels really boring and depressing. Primary stats will now give better bonuses. Who cares? Powers bonus to attack has been increased and all sorts of other stuff. Agility's bonus to evasion, parry, concentration has been increased. Let's see, knowledge's bonus to magic boost crit spell has been increased. Magic suppression greatly increased. This is again another very big thing for a random 0.5 patch. Most of you are gonna panic now if you haven't already panicked somewhere else because you've already read this. So let me tell you something, chill, don't panic. You know why? Because you always have to think smart and do your research before you panic. In 5.8 there is the magic boost cap has been increased. Of course we don't have 5.8, we're gonna have it, and I admit increasing magic suppression greatly in one patch and then increasing the magic boost cap 6 months later is not the best way to do it, right? But it's testing, it's adjusting, it's balancing, you know, it's combining several elements, you know, of PvP, trying to adjust things, so, you know, someone wouldn't one shot your magic class, so, you know, stuff like that. So that's why this was increased. However, in 5.8 magic boost cap is going to be increased as well. So that means that somehow, not entirely, this is gonna be balanced by 5.8. Quests. Are we gonna go through quests? Who the fuck? Fuck. No, I'm not gonna go through quests. Yeah, there may be some important things here in quests also, but who cares? I'm not gonna read this. Quests in Estera Nostra Abyss greatly increased XP. Quests has been changed to daily quests, some Estera Nostra. Abyss garrisons can now be accepted 3 times a week instead of 1. So obviously, big changes, but let's not get into it. Read them yourself because they are actually big changes. Cool, etc. I love this section. The beginner zones, Ishalgen and Ishalgen and Poeta have been changed, and indeed they look fantastic. I've been there on the American client and they look absolutely great, amazing. If all the zones would be changed, I guess Nostra and Estera don't need to be changed because Nostra and Estera already look really cool like this. But if other zones would be changed as well, then again, who gives a fuck? Nobody really goes to Algard and Belusla and stuff. In any case, zones have been changed, good stuff for very beginner players that just joined the game, and instead of seeing Ishalgen like a place where someone has vomited all over the mountains and created a pattern, a texture, then they would see something cool like this and maybe stick to the game until they're level 15 and reach alt card. So I guess that's a thing. UI improvements, items are gonna look a little bit different when you scroll through them. You can check these things. Battle readiness has been added to items, obviously. So you can see how good the item is, how much is enchanted. You know, it gives you like an item rating, right? Cool. New looks for scrolling. In-game video recording function has been added. Yes, I've been waiting for this as a YouTuber for the past 2.5 years, boys. Now it's finally here. No, I'm just joking. Don't know what this is. Not quite sure. What's the quality? Or maybe just use it to report bots or hackers or what. Everyone's gonna be a YouTuber, boys. So look out for those new YouTubers in AION. Cool stuff. Some features in the monster book has been fixed. I never opened my monster book, not even once. Monster information can now be seen in monster book. Okay, cool. A total, this is important again, a total of 11 new high deva skills have been added. Each class can learn 1 new high deva skills. The new high deva skills are really awesome, but if I remember correctly, they cost 20 creation points. That's kind of a lot, so, but they're really awesome for 90% of the classes. Really nice stuff. Exchange NPC for spinel medals has been placed in Estera Nostra, of course, because you can exchange the previous medal into spinel medal. These medals for the fragmented spinel in the fountain, and for the spinel medal in the merchant. As I told you, 1,000 of these medals, you can get a box that contains 1 spinel medal. For a silver, you get one of these new medals. For a gold, you get 5. For a platinum, you get 16 of these new medals, you know, automatically exchanged. Pet, Abyss, whatever. Cool. That's all for the 5.5 patch. Let's go quickly, a huge patch. Let's go quickly through 5.6. Let's see what we have here. Another instance dungeon, Tower of Challenge has been added to the game. This is a PvE dungeon that's also going to have a ranking. So for the people that are really much into PvE, I haven't tried it, I don't know the rewards. But yeah, it has 40 levels and it was going to have a ranking, and people are going to get, same as the Arena of Gold, only the PvE version, right? That's pretty sweet, that's pretty cool. So yeah, really cool stuff. Entrance to the Tower of Challenge is located wherever it's located. It gives you more details about the Tower of Challenge. If you complete 40 levels, this is the rewards you get. Whatever. Golden Crucible Party Bootcamp has been added. This is another big change, and this is a very sweet change. Where 2 parties of 5 players can compete. So not only your 1v1, now you can be 6v6 in a golden 6v6. Cool stuff. 4 entries a week. Nice addition to the game. Kinda too many arenas now. You have the Chaos Arena, you have the 3v3 Arena, you have the Solo Arena, you have the best players with red tickets Arena, you have the Golden Arena, you have the Golden 6v6 Arena, you have fucking million Dredgens, you have 96 versus 96, 24 versus 24, 12v12 Kamar. What? Why do we need so many fucking battlegrounds? Because if you leave 100 choices in the game, people are gonna be split in 100 different directions. It's no longer motivating or keeping people on a chain, which is what an MMO wants to do. It's just splitting people around. It's just forcing them to be unhappy because they couldn't play at 3 PM when the Golden 6v6 was on, and they can only play at 7 PM when Ashuntal Dredgen is. Stupid. Too many of them. It's a nice addition, but when you add so many new arenas, remove some from the past. It's fucking boring to do Kamar anyway. Yeah. Anyway, It tells you what you get, victory, defeat. Entry times for some dungeons have been changed. You can look at them here. BMR, Runatorium Ruins, Kamar's Battle, Steelwall Bastion Battle. Termination conditions for the Runatorium Ruins, whatever, have been added. A way to obtain some orbs in Nara Kali has been changed. Don't even fucking know what this is. A character that has a referral item can acquire. It's scroll. Cool. Skill items of some Nara Kali, so some bug fixes, whatever. Rifting has been changed also. If the rift is fully depleted and you still want to enter it, you need to do something and pay something and enter it. So whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. Nobody really cares about that anyway. But it's a good change for the future of the game in case they want to somehow revamp rifting. This is a good change so they don't have to do it later. This is a good change. For example, when you wanted to, when there was a maintenance and you were really eager to connect to a server, it says we cannot connect you to the server, and you just had an option to press OK and it shut down your client and you had to go all the way and restart it. So thank God this is changed. That's it. That's it, boys. That's it for 5.5 and 5.6. These were the two patches. You can find them on AION Powerbook. Go ahead and look at them. I'm very excited because this is major. It's going to change the game. And yeah, what can I say? See you guys in game. I will see you in 5.6, see you in 5.5. And in the meantime, lots of love, guys.